Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 19th. We're just going to jump right in here, Scorpio, and we're going to do a Celtic cross for this week. We are going to clarify it and everything, but you start off with the Queen of Cups as your general energy, and the Queen of Cups could definitely be you showing up here. Funny thing is, I actually read you as the Queen of Cups. I know everybody reads her as Cancer, but there you can read her as Scorpio, so I feel like it's you, and I feel like you're showing up in a strong position here, showing up as yourself as the center card. But I do feel there's a little bit uncertainty that changes everything. So, never mind, Scorpio, what I was just about to say. Because maybe, entering into this week, you're a little bit uncertain. Maybe you're a little bit busy or kind of like juggling things, wondering where you should invest your feelings. And I'm not just talking about love here. I'm talking about, investing your feelings into like projects, businesses, work, all that stuff. So, she really values her emotions. That's the whole point of the Queen of Cups, is that she values her emotions over every other possible court card. She values them the most. And so she values how all situations in her life make her feel. Work, business, love, spiritually, health-wise. And she values she values it deeper than just her kind of her thoughts about something, right? And that's what's really jumping out to me. You even have the Sun here, which is the best card in the deck. But, I feel like you're really making sure that things make you feel good. But you have the Two of Pentacles. This is showing up as your crossing energy. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a situation. And it doesn't have to be bad. It can definitely be good. So I feel like some of you are kind of like going back and forth on all situations in your life. It's kind of interesting because I feel like you are very busy. And, I do get more of this like weighing your options type of vibe here. It doesn't really represent weighing your options, the Two of Pentacles, but again, I read intuitively, and that's what I'm getting. So there you go. And I feel like you're a little bit kind of going back and forth here on something, and we're gonna clarify through, so we'll figure out what it is. In the area of your thoughts, what's on your mind, you have the Sun. So I feel like you're thinking about happiness, wanting to be happy. You could be thinking about things that make you happy, which is great. This is definitely the energy I would be in. Again, I always say that we're in a time of, manifestation on steroids. To me, Neptune and Pisces, and then Jupiter's out of Pisces this week, but what I would say is, we had Jupiter in Pisces, so, it's definitely a time of very rapid manifestation, very rapid creation. So by focusing on joy, happiness, abundance, things that make you happy, by focusing on those things, you're just going to attract things faster. It is interesting that we go like this. Sun, Six of Cups down to the Devil, though. I'm not so sure how I feel about this Devil yet. For some of you, I feel like this is a very deep connection. It's almost like I see you running towards a person, and kind of like you're moving towards something that kind of moves very quickly. Part of me also feels this is a past situation where maybe things move too quickly, and that could have caused some issues or problems. But now it looks like you're walking away from it. Look at this. Even when we go here, Judgment, Six of Cups, Page of Wands, it's like literally the two cards in the deck that can represent someone from the past to the Page of Wands. Like, he's walking away from someone back here. This is the After Tarot, by the way. So for some of you, I'm wondering if you're kind of like walking away from a person, if you're dealing with love. But in your foundation, you have this Judgment card here. So I feel like you are kind of being reborn at this time, going through rebirth. I feel like you're looking for just new experiences. You end with that Chariot card. The Chariot driver is moving away from the city behind him. It's a card of victories and success, and, it basically says where there's a will, there's a way on the Chariot as well. So I feel like for a lot of you, it's like you're hoping to find it's like I feel like you're just looking for fresh energy, even with the Sun. The Sun can just say that maybe we're looking to experience fresh, new experiences in all areas of life, and that could be a big focus for you. In the past, in your past position, this is the energy you're moving past. You have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups could be a knight in shining armor, although intuitively, I feel like you're moving past a dreamy energy here. Just looking around here, I feel like maybe you've kind of experimented with a lot of things in life, like different business ideas or different jobs or different life path ideas, whatever the case may be, doesn't matter. And so I kind of feel like you're finally It's almost as if this reading is saying you're taking like one thing that you've worked on or experimented with in your life, and you're making it more solid. I feel like you're taking something from the dream world into the real world. And it is kind of weird because, I think whatever you are solidifying, it's like you've done it before. So it's not, was it ever a dream? Maybe, but it's like, to me, a dream doesn't, is a dream. It's not something that you've done before. So it's kind of like, I feel there's some sort of difference here. So, for example, maybe you wanted a business that's a dream. It's like maybe you kind of tried it on a small level. Now you're trying it on a bigger level. That's what I'm getting at here, is like you're actually kind of manifesting a dream on earth. But it is something that you've probably experienced before, but maybe just not on the level that you were hoping. Over in the very near future, you have the Six of Cups. This could be a past person. Again, I personally do not read the Six of Cups as a past person. Even if you read some of the older tarot books, even in the Golden Tarot book, for example, it specifically says, do not go back to the past. Do not get stuck in nostalgia. But you do have the Judgment card here, which could be like a past person. So, take it how it resonates. I don't do X-back readings for a reason, but if you want to, go for it. I don't care. But what I would say here is I feel like this could also be a turnaround. Six of Cups to me can be a gift from the universe, and the gift we usually receive from this card is a turnaround or improvements in our life. Or it could also represent like some sort of obstacle being removed from our life as well. It can also kind of represent a dream, but like a childhood dream. That's not always true though. It could just represent like a dream that we had like years ago, something that we came up with, like some sort of idea for a business or something like that. And now we're kind of manifesting it in the real world. It is kind of interesting as well that you have the Devil. The Devil is showing up in your next few months. And the Devil, of course, can be toxic energy. Of course, I would be careful of something toxic entering into your life here. Although I do feel this could be like a Capricorn that's coming in for you if you're looking for love. You also have water here, Cancer, could be any sign. It's a general reading, take it how it resonates. But if you're looking for love, could be one of those signs, or they could have those signs in their chart. And I kind of feel like this is a very childlike connection. I actually feel pretty good about this. The Devil is not necessarily a bad card. It can definitely say, like, make sure things don't get toxic, but at the same time, I kind of feel this is more saying, I feel like this is more saying there's, like, a very childlike connection that could be coming in for you, but also, the Devil can represent work. It represents Saturn. So you could be attracting a person who is willing to put in the work, but what I would also say is in your closest relationships, you have the Five of Swords. This does not have to be love, but the Five of Swords can be a separation or separating away from something. I do feel for a small percentage of you, what you are separating away from is a person. And I feel like this person just tried to sell you a dream. Maybe they were stuck in a dream world, but they weren't actually very good at the real world, making something a reality here on Earth. And so that you could be walking away from that. Again, we're going to clarify this in just a minute. So we're going to get some answers here, of course, Scorpio. But, I do feel that there could have been a person where it's like it's like very dreamy, but not very good at making things a reality. And that could be what you're walking away from. For others, I feel like you're just taking a risk. I feel like you're taking a risk on a person here in love, if you want love, and you're just going to see where it goes. Again, I think the risk here is the childlikeness. Is that a word? I'm not sure, but I feel like it's a very childlike connection, and almost maybe you've run into mistakes running towards a person in the past. Let's put it that way. Like if you, maybe in the past you learned that if you rush right into something, you get hurt. But it feels very quick to me, and that could be the risk that you're taking. I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. You also have the Page of Wands here. This is showing up in your future feelings. I feel like you're ready for adventure. You even have the Chariot as your outcome. So I feel like you're ready to go, like ready to take control again. The Chariot says where there's will, there's a way. Where anything you want in your life, creating a business, relationship, moving, traveling, whatever you want to do, if you can dream it, you can have it. But you have to take control. And, I feel like these last two cards are really actually you taking control of your destiny or your future life, whatever you want to call it. And because of that, I feel like you're finding success. So you have the Chariot here. I have to cover this up because of YouTube being like a 12-year-old, but, you have the Chariot here. There are two Sphinxes below my fingers, but they have chesticles. I'll use a adult term for YouTube. So they have chesticles that I can't show. And what I would say here is that I feel like there's some sort of victory coming in for you. I think it's important to remember that the Chariot kind of represents as above, so below. And He has these stars in his canopy above him, and he has these moons on his shoulders. So I feel like for some of you, you really like we're in a time of manifestation. I'd be, again, using your powers of manifestation to get what you want at this time. Let's see. With the Queen of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. Again, back and forth. A decision needs to be made here. I know what this is now. I feel like some of you, especially for those of you working on projects or businesses or that want to start something, that want to be more independent is the word that's popping into my head, then I feel like you need to get started. Nine of Swords can be a card of perseverating on something. You're just constantly thinking of all the things that could go on. Very rushing thoughts, right? But what I would say here, Sun, Chariot, manifestation, you will never know how something is going to turn out until you do it, until you try it, right? And so I feel like for some of you, there's something that you want to do. I feel like you just have to try it and see what happens. It's like you can think about it till the cows come home, but unless you take action, nothing's going to happen. So that's what I'm getting on the Nine of Swords. Some of you could be experiencing a nightmare. I would be very careful of revisiting a relationship here. Again, not telling you what to do. People always get mad at me. They're like, you hate love. You hate exes. I'm like, well, I don't care what you do. You're an adult. You can do whatever you want. Go for it. Make the mistake, right? I'm a big fan of making mistakes. But what I would say here is, do you need to repeat a mistake? That's what this reading is asking. And so if you need to repeat a mistake, go for it, right? Scorpio, good luck. With the Sun, you have the Three of Wands, card of expansion. All three, it makes perfect sense to me that you water signs get these cards of expansion constantly. We have Uranus and Taurus, and that Uranus and Taurus energy is very friendly to you, especially Scorpio. So, to me, it's all about expansion, freedom, becoming more free, doing things that make you feel free, whatever that means for you. Could mean the freedom to choose your own hours at work. Could mean the freedom of starting a business or getting into the right relationship that allows you freedom. Whatever the case may be, doesn't matter, but I feel you're very focused on expanding. Again, some of you, it wouldn't surprise me if some of you were moving as well. With the Judgment card, you have the Lovers. Definitely, see, I feel like there's new love coming in for you. I'm wondering, sometimes I think we go back to the past because we just feel like we're not going to find anyone else. I would say you are definitely going to find someone else. That's what this card says. I feel like someone's waking up to you, or you're waking up to a person that you're interested in as well. Didn't you have this card last reading I did with you? I'm pretty sure you had this Lovers card because I was saying something. I remember saying something to you about like two people who just fit in with each other. I feel like this person, it's like you two just fit together, and there you go. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Empress. So this is coming up in your past position. I do feel like some of you, it's like you get a lot of attention. I think you need to realize that. Maybe some of you feel like, oh, I have to stay stuck to this past bozo because they put up with me, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of attention for you, and it doesn't matter what gender you are. So I feel like maybe some of you need to not sell yourself so short. With the Six of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. Do not rush back to the past. In a traditional, if this was a traditional Knight of Swords, this is the White Sage Tarot, but if this was a traditional Knight of Swords, he would be facing this direction. He would be going towards the past. And the horse on the Knight of Swords looks very stressed out. It says, do not make a hasty decision. So again, not telling you what to do, but also telling you what to do. I would be very careful of, rushing right back to the past or something like that with that card. The other thing is, I would be careful of like rushing communication, but it doesn't have to be love. Could be anything. Sometimes I think we've all had those moments where someone rushes in and they're like very quick and crazy communication, maybe trying to get us to spend money or trying to help them out or whatever. I would try to slow things down, especially if someone's kind of trying to be a smooth talker or trying to, talk you into something. I'd be careful of that. With the Devil, you have the Page of Pentacles. Definitely like an earth sign coming in for you. If it's not, I would be shocked, number one, if it's not an earth sign, like a Capricorn. Number two, it could just be a person who has a ton of earth in their chart. We're talking like major positions like moon, rising, something like that. And, I would say that this is a new person that is entering into your life. I also feel that some of you could just quite simply be very focused on work. The Devil, to me, is actually not a bad card for work. I like it for work. It is Saturn. It rewards work. So I feel there could be a lot of benefits coming in for you in work. The Devil, to me, also sometimes represents like expressing something out into the world. It is like a root chakra, type of energy, the Devil. Those two people on the Devil have animal horns on their heads. And, it kind of represents animal instincts or our baser instincts. They can say that you maybe have a creative idea inside of you, or you have an idea for your life. Could be anything. Start a business, could be to move, could be to build a deck in your backyard. I don't care what it is. but there's like some sort of gap here. I feel like it's a knowledge gap with the Page of Pentacles. So if you feel inspired, there's a lot of inspiration here, the sun in the area of your thoughts. It's like you feel inspired to do something. It's going to lead to growth with the Three of Wands, but going this way, it's like there's a gap that I see in my head. So I feel like some of you need to fill a knowledge gap, or you need to figure out how to overcome some sort of knowledge gap here. Page of Pentacles, card of studiousness, literally the card of just learning how to do something. With the Five of Swords, you have the Four of Cups. I feel like you've had a lot of disappointments in love for some of you. So some of you might be ready to give up on love. I would say, well, don't. I feel like, look at those 3 cups are pouring into 1 cup. It's almost like you could be getting a person that's better than 3 people, right? So I would say don't give up, because I almost feel there could be a person who's like way better than anything you've ever experienced. Could be someone very stable, obviously, if they're an earth sign type person. Could also be a Gemini I'm getting here as well, but take it how it resonates. Could be a Taurus also, but what I would say here is that I feel like this person is good if you want love. For others, again, this is just a card of contemplation and apathy. So in all relationships, because this position here represents your closest relationships, some of you might just be disappointed in a relationship, or, again, it could be like a friendship, a family member, something like that. And I do get that. Can we get more clarity on that? That's not very clear. Yeah, you have the Four Swords as well. I feel like someone slept on you here. Not like slept, like as in slept around, although, I guess that's possible, but I feel like you feel that maybe someone didn't see your potential. It could be like a family member or a friend, and maybe they didn't support you with this energy. So what? Where are we going with this? 9 of Cups. It's almost like you're focusing on your own fulfillment at this time with this 9 of Cups. I don't really see this as a bad thing. 9 of Cups, normally the guy has the 9 cups behind him, and he is like handing, we could look at it like he's handing those cups out. There is a way to read the 9 of Cups that he's like a barkeep. He's giving those cups away. He is the one that is deciding who he gives his cups to. So, again, it's almost like people are going to have to come to you to receive a cup, if that makes sense. I don't know. Weird. We'll take it. With the Page of Wands, you have the King of Wands. Yes, I love the King of Wands. Could be a fire sign coming in for you as well. But the King of Wands is very bold, very assertive. He really goes for what he wants. He kind of isn't afraid to create his own reality. He isn't afraid to nurture things into existence as well. I always say, to me, he's like the true father in the tarot, even though technically it's the Emperor. Just intuitively, I feel like it's really meant to be him, because he really nurtures things. He really takes care of them, like new adventures, new businesses, new health routines, whatever you're working on. Doesn't matter. If you treat it like a baby, it will reward you, is what that says. With the Chariot, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles about equal give and take. It's also about planting seeds. I feel like you need to go for something. I feel this is kind of like, I really feel if you have an idea, a plan, something you want to accomplish, I kind of feel this energy of just going all the way. Like, it's one of those, it gives me the vibes of burning your boats. If you don't know, it's like, I think it's Tim Robbins, or not Tim Robbins. Who the hell am I talking about? Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins, right? He talks about, if you want to take an island, you have to burn your boats. And for some of you, I kind of feel that energy where it's like you need to almost make it like, so that there is no other way other than for you to be successful at something, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm getting there. We're going to pull 5 main themes for you this week now, Scorpio. And you start off with this Mountain Road card. It says, you are on the road to success. There you go. Definitely a lot of success coming in for you at this time. I feel like it's something that you are finally committing to. Remember what I said about the dream. It's almost like it's something that you tried on a small scale before. So it wouldn't really surprise me if you are reviving or revitalizing an old idea, like an old business idea. But it could also be something personal as well, like building a deck in your backyard, like the joke I made. But maybe it's not a joke. Maybe it's serious. So you could be kind of like, retrying or redoing something. And I feel you are going to be very successful with this energy. Next, you have this card. It's a claw card. It says, be careful, do not take risks. Although I think, I always clarify this card, by the way. You have this quill card. It says, get back to basics. I still feel like you should take a risk, but it's not really a risk. That I got that on that Chariot and the Six of Pentacles, It's like saying you have to go all the way, but is it really a risk? I would say maybe it feels kind of like a risk, but it's not a risk. I wouldn't take unnecessary risk with that Knight of Swords, right? I wouldn't take the risk of spending all your money on something, or, putting yourself in a position where you're really kind of like screwing yourself on something else in your life, like, buying something you don't need or something like that. I think that's like the type of risk this is talking about. But if you're building your business, or if you're deciding to commit to your business, that might be a worthy risk, is kind of what I'm getting here. This in the Quill card says get back to basics. I would just like do what works is what that's saying to me. You have this fire card, strong emotions, Queen of Cups, passionate love or hate. I feel both. I feel maybe some of you hate a person from the past and have very strong emotions for a new person that's coming in the future as well. It's like this person's in your energy, which is interesting, I feel. So if you're looking for love, I feel there's a new person who's in your energy. I don't know if you know them, they know you, blah, 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 whatever, who cares? I would just go for it. There you go. You have this cracked cup card. It says dissatisfaction with life. The funny thing is I don't feel bad about this dissatisfaction with life. I feel, yeah, you might be dissatisfied with certain things that are going on in your life, which I think we saw somewhere in here, basically, with the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of just like going through the motions, doing the work that you do all the time and kind of feeling bored. But I feel like that's exactly what's motivating you to success is you being dissatisfied with life. You have this mountain card. It says major challenge to overcome. I don't think this is a challenge. I feel that you're on the road to success. You have the mountain road and the mountain. So it's like you're overcoming this. I always say also the mountain might be a challenge, but where do you get the best views? At the top of a mountain. So don't be afraid to climb those mountains, Scorpio.